This is Chuck Schaefer of HCM TV, and I am joined by Amy Island, HCM Director of Strategy at Infor. Amy, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Amy, you've been in the industry a number of years, and I'd like to try to draw on some of that perspective. I have heard a number of thought leaders describe this year as an inflection point for the HCM or HR technology industry. Would you agree with that assessment? And if so, what are the factors or drivers that are making it an inflection point?
I definitely agree with that assessment. Our customers are seeing a high degree of uncertainty with understanding, should they continue to invest in new vendors? Should they continue the relationship that they have with their current vendors and invest deeper? And then most importantly, what are driving the talent strategies and their service delivery strategies across all of their business practices?
Well, let me kind of pose that in a question to you. Infor is a large company with a broad IT and business application software portfolio. What is driving your technology in terms of introducing new products or solutions that customers are asking for?
What's driving our technology is the ability to produce applications that allow for a consumer-grade experience, allow for deep integration or the passage of data from an interoperability perspective, and also from the ability to work loosely coupling solutions together so that they don't have to invest in deep integration and or customizations.
You said a number of interesting things there. Let me tap into a couple. You mentioned mobile. And Infor, from an HCM perspective, was one of the early adopters to bring mobile technologies to HR technologies and has really a deep application in terms of employee self-service and manager self-service. What are the benefits your customers are achieving with these types of mobile applications?
Our customers are achieving such return on investment from immediately allowing that all their employees, whether they're in an HR professional role, in a leadership type role, but the ability to quickly get to the right information at the right time to make the right decisions at the right cost. And a lot of times what they're looking for is not only the ability to see the data related to HR business practices, but most importantly, how is that impacting their business results? And they can do that through their mobile devices, whether it's a tablet, a phone, or otherwise.
And let me tap into another disruptive technology. How are you seeing social media add value to HR software?
Social media is absolutely critical to allow for employee engagement, to allow especially the new generation of workers, whether they're knowledge workers, line workers, or most importantly leaders, to be able to access the people that they need to collaborate and also to get to the right group and the right skill set to help drive some of their programs and initiatives forward.
Let me ask you about another disruptive technology. How are you seeing social media add value to HR software solutions?
Social media has become such a key element in helping employees collaborate because they do it whether they're at work or outside of work. And it's just become kind of the status quo in how people interact, whether they're reaching out from a social perspective in engagement in different activities outside of work, but most importantly, they want to be able to reach out to a group of people who have like interests, who will present career opportunities or maybe mentor programs, but most importantly, to help them with their career growth. So I think it's absolutely imperative into the success. And what I would offer to an HR leader looking to engage social is absolutely, to vet it within the organization and embrace it because it's inevitable, it's coming.
Let me segue from that last comment. What advice would you offer to the HCM or business leader that's about to create or append their HR strategy to include social technologies and a social strategy?
What I would recommend, and we've seen this through a lot of customers, is make sure that you have a sound strategy in place to adopt social in your working environment and to help your employees be contributors to that. Because unless they're out hearing the voice of their employees and their leaders, they need to be able to quickly articulate their strategy and then get the right technology in place to support that. So having a sound strategic initiative around it will only make it successful.
Let me segue from strategy to technology. So for that HCM leader that's now about to evaluate HCM software solutions, what advice would you offer them?
I would have them take advantage of, what are the key kind of critical success factors in driving their strategy forward. look at what is a social technology that will allow employees to adopt it very easily, will allow them to show the value of not only the adoption of the usage of it, but most importantly, how is it contributing to the success of their organization and driving some of the results that they expect, whether that be employee engagement, whether that be driving business objectives or something else.
Let me go back to the beginning of our conversation. Again, draw on your years of experience, some of those factors that are making this year an inflection point. If we look ahead, how do you suspect the HCM software technology industry is going to change or evolve?
I think the HR technology space is going to evolve into needing to provide users and leaders and the people who are making business decisions with the right information more easily. I think driving content to the person who is looking to make a decision or to complete a transaction is critical. And also I think HR technologies need to almost guide a user through a typical transaction and provide information in the context of who they are. One of the things that I think is imperative in driving HR initiatives and technologies in the future is the ability to present information in the context of people so they can make the right information and have the knowledge to make the decisions. Whether I'm completing a basic transaction or I'm making a critical decision about the talent of my organization, having that information at my fingertips when I need it is going to be critical, and our technologies need to support that.
Well, very good. And with that insight, I think we're at a good break point to conclude our conversation. This is Chuck Schaefer. I've been joined by Amy Island, HR Strategy Director at Infor. Amy, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you very much, Chuck. I appreciate it.